Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. More Newcastle United news. Finally, the club is back. Eddie Howe has insisted to his players that during the World Cup break, those who are not there will make sure we'll keep them fit. They'll be playing games mid-season. And this week they travel to Saudi Arabia to play a match in front of fans. We'll get into that shortly. As well as that, you've seen it in the title. Jack Grealish has apologised to Miguel Almiron. Was it a sincere apology? We'll have a look at that in this video. And as well as that, we've got loads of transfer speculation surrounding James Maddison. What do I think about the James Maddison comments on Newcastle? Because it is quite interesting, to be fair. But anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to get down there, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button as well. I'm about to drop a huge announcement in a minute, so you want to make sure you stay subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out the videos this week. But anyway, though, that's about it. Without further ado, let's get into all the news now. Firstly, if you remember watching my video from Sunday, you would have seen the Newcastle women's team win 2-1 over Barnsley at St James's Park in front of over 28,000 fans in the second round of the FA Cup. Now, they play next Sunday against Wolves at Kingston Park in the third round of the FA Cup. The reason why I'm telling you this information now is because I won't be at the game next Sunday, because I will be down in Saudi Arabia for Newcastle's game against Al Hilal on the 8th of December. Now, funny enough, my birthday is actually the 9th of December, so I thought, you know what, let's go and enjoy myself anyway for my birthday. But not only that, with Newcastle United, if England beats Senegal on Sunday, I will be in Qatar next week as well. So I'll be in Saudi Arabia and Qatar for Newcastle and England content. So yeah, definitely want to make sure you stick around for those videos. But seriously though, I appreciate you supporting the channel, guys. Obviously, these trips aren't cheap, so it's kind of down to you that I'm able to do stuff like this. So it's an amazing opportunity. I can't wait to get over there. We're going to travel around the Middle East to watch my favourite football team and my national team. So yeah, I'm excited. But there you are, guys. Very, very soon on the channel, you'll be seeing vlogs in Saudi Arabia. Staying on the topic of the World Cup now, let's talk about the Newcastle players that won't be present in Saudi Arabia this week. And to be fair, I've been happy with Newcastle players so far in the World Cup. I think Wilson's looked very lively in the short spell he's had for England now. Against Wales, I don't understand why Southgate's not dropping the likes of Kane. We're already through, lest we lose 4-0 against Wales. There's no reason why you can't rotate the squad. It's okay to rotate Southgate. Wilson comes off the bench and looks very good. I've been happy with him so far. I want to see him get more game time because he looks lively on the ball. He looks like he's going to do something. Bruno for Brazil, he came on against Switzerland. Again, off the bench, is just a mark on the pitch. You can tell straight when he comes on, he's going to change the game. Eventually, Casemiro scores a winner and they win 1-0. Brazil looked very good in the World Cup so far. I'm probably expecting them to win the full thing. As for the other Newcastle players, there's not really much I can say about them. Trippier's had a little bit of game time. His first couple matches hasn't been the best, but again, I can only comment on what I saw. There hasn't been too much going on. Fabian Shaw hasn't had a sniff of the ball yet for Switzerland. I'm hoping in their final match of the day, at least comes on the pitch. As for Goran Kiol, our brand new 18-year-old signing, I mean, the dreams just continue for him. Australia have made it into the knockout stages. He's played for Australia at 18 years old. I mean, well, what the competition for him, and well done Australia for making it through the group stage. As for everyone else now, you can expect them all to be travelling to Saudi Arabia this week with Eddie Howe. Alexander Isak is expected to get back into the squad. It sounds like from what the journalists are saying that he won't return to the pitch in Saudi Arabia. It'll just be him get back to full fitness. You've got to remember we play Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup in a couple of weeks' time. So it's imperative that the likes of Isak can get back. I mean, like, he's like a brand new signing for the quality he has. So yeah, it's going to be great to see all the players out there in Saudi Arabia. But so far, it's been so good for Newcastle players. I think the majority of them had a good World Cup so far. So let's keep it up and make sure we can get the best out of our players. For the first time since the incident last summer, Jack Grealish has made a public apology to Miguel Almiron. He has already apologised to Almiron behind the scenes, but fans have never known that until the Telegraph interviewed Jack Grealish last night about the incident. So we'll put the comments on the screen now. I'll let you guys make up your mind on it, but this is the first comment here. So Jack Grealish straight off is coming out and saying how it was stupid, he was intoxicated, how it was a mistake that he shouldn't have made. And to be fair, I can understand. I mean, people on the drunk, they'll do stuff they regret. It's just life. So I do get that. I think it's fair enough. And he continues to go on and say how he actually messaged Matt Target behind the scenes about it, saying how disappointed he was in himself, how apologetic he was to Aaron when he essentially shouldn't have done it. So again, he's outright saying that he has messaged Matt Target to pretty much apologise to Aaron on his behalf. So yeah, okay, we'll continue with that. And finally, he's got another message here when he's just showing how sincere he is, how apologetic he is. And to be honest, after reading all the comments there, I think it's a good apology. For me, that's good enough. Yes, I think it's a great apology. I think it comes across quite well. Understand everyone makes mistakes, and it was a pretty stupid one. Let's not forget it was a pretty dumb mistake. It wasn't particularly nice, but when people are intoxicated, I can kind of somewhat give him some leeway. It's just unfortunately for him, the videos were online, and he just looks like a massive dick, essentially. So it's good to see him apologise. That for me is good enough. I think we should drop the Jack Grealish and Ron saga now. This should be the final time we consider talking about it. I think karma hit Grealish hard because Aaron went on to have probably the best spell in his career. So I think in general, he's got enough slack for it already. People have took the mick out of Grealish. I think we should just drop it now. He's apologised. I think it's a good apology. Aaron clearly has accepted the apology from his interview a couple of weeks ago. So for me, it's fair. I think it's fair game. And now I think we should drop it all together. But I want to say well done to Grealish for coming out like that. I think it's great, and ultimately for me, I think it's good enough. Now, James Maddison a few days ago was being questioned by the England media team about his transfer links to Newcastle in the summer. It's public knowledge that Newcastle were putting 2 bids at over £50 million to try and bring the player into the football club. James Maddison, at the time, it was believed that he wanted to join Newcastle in the summer, but ultimately Leicester went, no, we're not happy with the amount Newcastle were offering. We will not sell Maddison in this window, and it just diminished. Since that though, because there's 3 Newcastle players in the World Cup squad, essentially all the Newcastle players have been almost picking on Maddison, saying how he could have nearly played for Newcastle, just teasing the player constantly. So eventually that's boiled out into the media team, where the media team is outright asking Maddison questions about the Newcastle link. And to be fair, a lot of fans are claiming that Maddison clearly wants to join the club. You can see it in his face. He's quite awkward. He's quite timid when he comes across the interview. And it's one of those ones where you need to watch it for yourself. And I think it can be quite opinionated now. I'm not somebody that can read people's minds. I don't understand people's body language well. I'm not an expert in this stuff. So I can't come out and I can't say that it's definitely the case. But I think it is interesting. I think Maddison, I do generally believe that the player wants to join Newcastle. I stick by that. It will be harder in Christmas time to get the deal done because, well, Leicester have had better form now. They want to keep a hold of their best players. Maddison is a cracking player as well. So it's going to be hard to try and bring him in. And it will cost Newcastle a chunk of money. But it's one of those sort of ones where we have to wait and see. I think Maddison does want to join the club. You've got to think about him in James Maddison's position. I mean, why would he stay at Leicester? Newcastle are third in the table. Leicester, despite their good form in recent weeks, they're still around the relegation zone. Newcastle's just a no-brainer for the player. He's starting to age a bit now. I think the player does want to join Newcastle, but I think the deal at the minute is just hard to get done. I think it's one that next summer, I think it's realistic, but I think for the January window, it's just a bit too soon. And finally, speaking of the transfer window, now the speculation is starting to come out from the media of what players could leave Newcastle in the January transfer window. So the Telegraph here is claiming that Ryan Fraser will be open for offers. The club is ready to get rid of him. And he'll be, again, the first of many that could go in the next window. Now, to be fair to Ryan Fraser, I think he's an okay player, especially at ball. I mean, this guy one season had 15 assists in a Premier League campaign, which is incredible to see. But in his time at Newcastle, he hasn't delivered enough for me. I think he's one of those sort of players that was good to come in. We've had him there for squad depth, but as we get better players in now, he's just going to go further and further down the pecking order. So if he wants game time elsewhere, I think the best move for him would be to leave the club. I think the likes of Matt Ritchie as well, for example. I mean, he's not going to play for Newcastle, is he? So if he wants the game time, he's just going to have to go elsewhere. And it's one of those sort of ones now where the club over the next couple of years will get rid of our long-term players, the ones where have been here 5-6 years, they're kicking it on now. We'll send them elsewhere and we bring in better players, younger players, players that are ready to drive on, because we are a club now that is going to be looking for European football. There's no reason why we can't finish top 6 this season. I think top 8 we should definitely be finished. I think any form of European football, it should be almost guaranteed with how good we've been this season. I'd be very disappointed if we went out with the top 8. So I think we'll definitely get top 8. But if we want to push on for top 6 or top 4, I still think work has to be done. I think squad depth can be an issue at the club, especially like your Pope and Trippier get injured. I mean, they're just key players. They're so good. You need players in there that can add something to the team. So I think the club will have to evaluate the players we have. The likes of Ryan Fraser, I do see leaving in January. So it's one of those sort of ones. But anyway, guys, you let me know your thoughts down below. What players do you think will leave the club in January? What do you think about Jack Grealish's comments? What do you think about Saudi Arabia as a whole? There's plenty of stuff to get through next week. As for the England game now, on Sunday, I will be at Central Park in Newcastle. I done the NX on Friday. Obviously, I made my video about that. I stand by the video. I think the NX experience, I've got to be fair on him. I've got to come out of the video. I've got to show you my experience firsthand. It was not a good experience, I had to be honest. I went to Central Park for the Wales game. It was very good there. I'll be going back again on Sunday because the organisers asked me to, and he's gave me a very good deal. So I'm looking forward to going back there again. So you want to get yourselves along, guys, make sure you get yourselves to Central Park. But anyway, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one.